Hello. Today I'm speaking with Saka Al-Hahem, who is the Director General of Commercial for GACA within the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Saka, this is your first time at GAD, and you have been discussing the investment opportunities with the privatization program, which is moving forward within the Kingdom. Can you tell us a little bit about that program and what your objectives are?
Hello, Michael. Good morning. Well, I'm very glad to be here, actually. I've enjoyed the conference a lot. And it is my first time, and hopefully it will not be the last. The program in general of the transformation is really an integral part of the country's transformation program. The 2020 plan and the 2030 vision. And the idea is really to privatize some of the government assets, pass them on to the private sector, and at the same time improve on the service qualities to our passengers and the country at large. It starts with first separating the operation from the regulation, which some countries have done this in the past, and they were very successful at it, and we're learning from their experiences, and we're implementing the same approach. But more importantly, Saudi Arabia has about 27 airports today. And the traffic so far has been very encouraging. We have about 82 million passengers per year in 2015, and we have seen a very good growth. And that gives us the opportunity to really provide those assets to the right operators and investors who would help us achieve the primary objective, which is elevating the service and providing a capacity for this growth that we're experiencing. And at the same time, of course, the money doesn't hurt. Yeah.
And as you will have seen from the conference, there is a huge appetite for airport assets and a wide range of investors. Clearly, airports are one of the first asset groupings which are being looked at the Kingdom. Are you primarily looking at overseas investment? Are you looking for pension funds, sovereign wealth funds? Is there any particular type of investor that you're looking for?
Well, there is a particular type, but it's nothing to do with geography or nationality or anything like that. Really, the type we're looking for is a partner that can help us in the next 20, 30 years to really deliver the right services that we envision to deliver to our passengers. We're open to all type of investment. That's absolutely more than welcome. But as you mentioned, Michael, that it's not only the airports. The government is going through a big privatization program, but the airports is the first that is coming up. So it will be a precedence for the government. So those investors who actually invest in the airports can also move on to other assets.
And does that mean that you're open for discussions with investors in terms of regulatory models, operating models? Because at the moment there's nothing fixed, but certainly you want to be able to take advantage of the opportunity. So you're open for that sort of dialogue?
Absolutely, absolutely. And as you know, Michael, we already have one example under our belts. Medina Airport is a very successful model, and the consortium, Taiba Consortium, did a very good job in taking over the operation and the investment they made in the new terminal. As you know, also, we have a couple of projects that are almost at the end of the process to be passed on to the private sector. Jeddah Airport and Taif Airport. These are coming up within the next 60, 90 days. They will be announced. But we have a bigger pipeline. In 2017, we're looking at about 6 airports that we're hoping to tender them, whether individually or even bundling them to make use of economy of scale concept.
And you have a program of assets over the next 3, 4, 5 years that you're looking at. You've described how the airports, but there are also the aviation services around those airports as well that you are looking at potential investors.
Absolutely. You see, our privatization program hinges on 3 different pillars. One is the PPP or BTO or what do you want to call them. And as I mentioned, we have an example and we're going through others. The other pillar is the management in terms of management contracts to pass on to some of these assets. And the third is corporatization. So we have actually started with the Riyadh airport to corporatize it, and things are going well so far, and hopefully they will improve soon in the future. And within those, we have actually some of the airport services that we would like to privatize, whether we corporatize them, whether we pass them on to the private sector, or we bring in management as well. So such as private aviation, we have already tendered private aviation in 3 airports in Saudi Arabia. A very reputable company won the tender, and they actually should start within 2 weeks to start taking over some of these airports. But there are other services, and we're trying to be really innovative in bringing the solutions. So services such as baggage handling system. And we're playing with the idea of pay per bag or pay per volume concepts. And that will give a great opportunity to some investors, a steady growth opportunity. The same concept with firefighting systems or the security in the airports. And we will definitely tender those as well.
And clearly this is a huge opportunity because we're looking at a national program, we're looking at many assets, but also there's huge growth potential. This isn't within the kingdom a stagnant aviation market. This is a rapidly growing market with a demographic which is going to be increasing in travel. And then you also have the geographic advantage of being within the Middle East and within striking distance of both the European and the Asian markets as well. Correct. So this must be you must see this as a huge growth opportunity and be looking for growth partners moving forward.
Well, you're absolutely right, Michael. You see, the demographics and the population growth in Saudi, as it's known, it's actually just a little bit of 3%, higher than 3% annually, which is a significant number. But also more importantly, we have more than 60% of the population is below the age of 25. So you do have a very big pipeline coming in of potential users and passengers. But it's not only that. You see, the vision of 2030 and the transformation plan of 2020 really is focused on opening up the economy and diversifying the economy. So it's not only the population growth, but also the new businesses and the new potential that is coming. One of the things that very few people know about is that Saudi is opening up for tourism. And as you know, tourism is a major contributor to aviation and to airports and airlines and so on. So it's really a perfect time because you have a country that is opening up its economy and want to diversify its income. At the same time, you have a young population that grows pretty rapid. And it's just, I think, the stars are aligned these years.
So for any investor or operator that's interested in taking advantage of these opportunities and want to learn more about aviation within the kingdom, who should they be talking to?
That's a very good question. And if you hadn't mentioned it, I would actually squeeze it in there. We're really open, and we've actually created an email address just to make sure that we are within reach. So the email address is actually invest@gaca.gov.sa. GACA is GACA.
Excellent. Well, Saka, thank you very much. It's a fantastic opportunity. I've been spending many years working within the kingdom, and I can see the growth potential there. So thank you very much for bringing this to everybody's attention.
Appreciate it, Michael. Thank you very much.
Thank you.